Hello everyone. In my previous video I have discussed about the quantum numbers like principal quantum number, azimuthal quantum number, magnetic quantum number and spin quantum number. From that we have built our knowledge all about the orbitals. So if you are not aware of that, please have a look in my previous video. The link is in the description box. Now today's session gonna be a very excited session. Building all the orbital concept, we will see about the hybridization, sp3, sp2, sp, and from there we will find out the shapes of some molecules and their deviation from the ideality.
Hey guys, this is Arindam from ChemDots and I will discuss some of the important topics of organic chemistry. So let's get started. Now let's discuss about the hybridization. Hybridization is the idea that atomic orbitals fuse to form newly hybridized orbitals, which in turn influences molecular geometry and bonding properties. Now according to electronic distribution of carbon, it is 1s2, 2s2, 2p2. Here in ground state of carbon, in 1s and 2s there will be 2 electrons each, and in 2p orbital there will be 2 electrons. Now if we see here, in 2s there will be 2 and in 2p there will be 2 also. So in case of excited state of carbon, the 1 electron of 2s orbital will be shifted to the 2p orbital. So in excited state, what will be the case? In 2s there will be 1 electron and in 2p there will be 3 electrons. Now thus the 2s and 3 2p orbital may merge to form 4 sp3 hybridized orbitals containing 1 electron each. So they form 4 sp3 hybridized orbital with equal energy. Now let's say this is the s orbital with spherical shape and this is the p orbital with dumbbell shape. So after hybridization, they form 4 sp3 hybridized orbital with equal energy. 4 sp3 hybridized orbital. So on the right hand side of s and p orbitals of like sign and complement each other, but on the left hand side they will be diminish each other. So hybridization enables carbon to form 4 covalent bonds instead of only 2. And the sp3 hybrid orbital leads to stronger bonding than either an s or a p orbital because it extends out more in the direction of the attached atom, allows for greater overlapping of bonding orbitals. So they form stronger bonds. Now let's say this is one tetrahedron with 4 corners. So if we draw here, so 4 corners are connected, and now let's draw the sp3 hybridized orbitals. Here the 4 orbitals will be oriented to the all tetrahedron corners of that tetrahedron, and these red orbitals are sp3 hybridized orbitals, and the bond angles between the orbitals are 109 degree 28 minute, and these are the sp3 hybridized orbital. Now let's discuss about the sp2 hybridization. Here 1 s orbital and 2 p orbitals are there. So the 1 s orbital and 2 p orbitals are averaged to make 3 sp2 hybridized orbital of equal energy. So here 1 p orbital is left. So that means this is unhybridized orbital. Now let's draw the structure of sp2 hybridized orbital. Let's say this is a equilateral triangle with 3 corners. So now the 3 hybrid orbitals, that is sp2 hybridized orbitals, point to the 3 corners of an equilateral triangle and they are coplanar, and the bond angles between the 2 sp2 hybridized orbital is 120 degree, and that the unhybridized p orbital is perpendicular to the plane of the hybrid orbitals. That means the unhybridized orbital will be perpendicular to the plane of that equilateral triangle. Now let's see how the unhybridized p orbital is oriented here. So let's say this is the unhybridized p orbital, the blue one, and if I draw the sp2 hybridized orbitals in the equilateral triangle, so green ones are the sp2 hybridized orbitals and the blue one is the perpendicular one. So this is the unhybridized p orbital, and the bond angle between the sp2 and the unhybridized p orbital is 90 degree. That means this is the perpendicular one. Now coming to the sp hybridized orbitals. So sp hybridization is observed when one s and one p orbital in the same main shell of an atom mix to form two new equivalent orbitals. So the new orbitals formed are called sp hybridized orbitals. So one s orbital plus one p orbital will form two sp hybridized orbitals of equal energy. So from the name itself you can see two sp hybridized orbitals, that means two unhybridized orbitals are also there. So how they orient? Two unhybridized orbitals will be perpendicular to each other and they will be perpendicular also to the line containing sp hybridized orbitals. As the sp hybridized orbitals are linear to each other, that means they will be perpendicular to that molecular line. So two sp hybridized orbitals will be 180 degree apart from each other. So that is the reason why sp hybridization is also known as diagonal hybridization. Now everywhere you will not get that much time to find out the hybridization like this way. So you have to find out the alternative also. So for this purpose, let's see how we can determine the hybridization of an atom in a molecule. So to determine the hybridization of an atom, that means the atom in which hybridization state it is, we have to add up the number of lone pairs which is not used in resonance. That means the lone pairs which are readily available and which contributes in the geometry of that molecule, and the number of sigma bonds, which means the single covalent bond with central atom. Now let's see some of the examples. Now in case of a molecule, let's say the sum is 4. That means the hybrid orbital number is 4. What does it mean? It means that the hybridization is sp3. If the sum is 3, the hybridization is sp2, and if the sum is 2, the hybridization is sp. Now again come to the hybridization of the methane. The molecular formula is CH4. So in carbon, in 1s orbital there are 2 electrons, in 2s orbital there are 2 electrons, and in 2p orbital there are also 2 electrons. But in case of excited state, one 2s electron will be shifted to the 2p electron. So there are 4 sp3 hybridized orbitals of equal energy and 1 electrons in each orbital. So here the 4 hydrogen atoms with their 1s electron will be bonded to the 4 sp3 hybridized orbital to form the CH4 methane. So let's say there are 4 sp3 hybridized orbitals showing a tetrahedral shape. With that, 4 hydrogen atoms with 1s orbital will form the bonds. Here is the overlap of 1s orbital of hydrogen and the sp3 orbital of carbon. So there are sp3s sigma bonds. So 4 sp3s sigma bonds are there and the bond angle between them is 109.5 degree. Now let's find out the hybridization as well as the molecular structure of BF3. In case of boron, the electronic configuration of boron is 1s2, 2s2, 2p1 in ground state. But in excited state, one electron from 2s orbital will be shifted to 2p orbital and they will form 3 sp2 hybridized orbital. And in case of fluorine, there are 5 electrons in 2p orbitals, so one unpaired electron is there. Now the 3 sp2 hybridized orbital will form 3 covalent bond with fluorine. Now let's see the molecular structure of BF3. So here this is the 3 sp2 hybridized orbitals of boron. They are in plane of a equilateral triangle. So with that sp2 hybridized orbitals, 3 fluorines are bonded with the p orbitals and they are forming the covalent bonds. So they are forming here sigma bonds and this is the sp2 p type and the bond angle is here 120 degree. So here let's summarize that part. Here the number of attached group is 3 and the hybridization of that boron is here sp2 and the angle between the two sp2 hybridized orbitals here is 120 degree. Now if we summarize the whole thing in a table where we will see the number of groups attached with the central atom in first column and here in second column we will see the shape of the molecule and in the third column there will be the hybridization of the central atom and in last case it will be bond angle. If the number of attached groups to the central atom is 2, then the shape will be linear, hybridization will be sp and the bond angle is 180 degree. If the number of groups attached is 3, the shape will be trigonal planar and the hybridization is sp2 and the bond angle is 120 degree like BF3 and the number of groups attached if it is 4, the shape is tetrahedral, hybridization is sp3 and the bond angle is 109 degree 28 minutes. Up to that point we have discussed the ideal cases of hybridization. Now if the central atom has any lone pairs of electrons, then there will be a departure from the nominal hybridization. So according to VSEPR pair theory, we have find out all the bonding structures till now. Now, if there is a lone pair of electrons on central atom, so what will be the case? Now for this purpose, let's focus on the structure of ammonia. So nitrogen has 7 electron and the electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p3. That means in 1s and 2s there are 2 electrons each and in 2p this is the half filled orbital. So here 2s and 2p will form 4 sp3 hybridized orbital. So that means 2s with 2 electrons and 2p with 3 electrons will combine to form 4 sp3 hybridized orbitals. And this is the lone pair and 3 hydrogen atoms will form the sigma bonds with that 3 sp3 hybridized orbitals. Now let's see the structure of ammonia. So here are the 4 sp3 hybridized orbitals and this is the lone pair and here 3 hydrogen atoms will be form the sigma bond with that 3 sp3 hybridized orbitals. So this is the lone pair and here this is the bond pair and the hydrogen atoms are forming the sp3s sigma bonds, and there will be a repulsion between that lone pair and bond pair. Now, according to VSEPR theory, the lone pair repulsion is greater than that of the lone pair bond pair repulsion, which is in turn greater than that of the bond pair repulsion. So here in lone pair and bond pair, so this is a category of lone pair bond pair repulsion. So the bond angle between the lone pair and the bond pair will be more than that of the HNH bond angle. That means there will be a deviation from the ideal hybridization concept. As we know, the nominal sp3 hybridization bond angle is 109.5 degree. The HNH bond angle here is 107.1 degree. Now one might think that why the lone pair of nitrogen in ammonia is at the 2s orbital? Why not at the 2p orbital? So let's see the situation. So for nitrogen, let's say one electron from the 2s orbital will be shifted to the 2p orbital. So there will be a pair of electron in 2p. Now the hybridization is sp2, keeping the lone pair alone. So now, as we know, in case of sp2 hybridized orbital, as there is one unhybridized orbital with a lone pair of electron, that will be perpendicular to the molecular plane. So this is lone pair of electron, and the angle is the HNH is 120 degree by default, and the angle between the lone pair and the bond pair is 90 degree. So there will be much more strain between the lone pair and the bond pair. So this arrangement of ammonia will be least stable. So from all these discussions, we came to know that in sp3 hybridization, the percentage of s character is 25% and the percentage of p character is 75%. And in case of sp2, the percentage of s character is 33.33% and the percentage of p character is 66.66%. And in case of sp hybridization, so the percentage of s character is 50% and percentage of p character is 50%. Now discuss about the hybridization index. The hybridization index is a parameter by which we can determine how much excessive the p character is. That means the p character upon s character. It is denoted by small I, and small I is fp by fs. That means fraction of p character by fraction of s character. From there, fs will be 1 by I plus 1 and fp will be I by I plus 1. So from these two equations, we can say that fs plus fp, it will be 1. Now let's draw the relationship between hybridization as expected by fs and the interorbital angles. So along the horizontal axis, let's draw the fractional character, and along the vertical axis it will be interorbital angles. So here, let's say in horizontal axis, started from 0, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4 and 0.5, and this will be drawn as fractional character. So in the vertical axis, we are drawing the interorbital angles in degree. So here we will start with the angle 90 degree, and then it will be 120 degree, and last it will be 180 degree. So let's draw the plot. So we have started with the p, it's 0 fraction, and when the fractions character is 0.5, that means the bond angle is 180 degree and the hybridization will be sp. Now if the fractions is 0.33, that means the hybridization is sp2 and the bond angle will be 120 degree. Now if the hybridization is sp3, the fraction will be
So
0.25
now let's
and the
see
bond
the
angle will be
relationships
109.5 degree that generates that curve. So the relationship which generates that curve is cos theta equal to minus 1 by I. Here theta is the interorbital angle and I is the hybridization index. So I equal to minus 1 by cos theta. So percentage of S character is equal to cos theta by cos theta minus 1. And percentage of P character is 1 by 1 minus cos theta. So let's see the bond angles. So for SP hybridization, I equal to 50 by 50, that means percentage of S character by percentage of P character equal to 1. Cos theta equal to then minus 1 by I, that means minus 1. And theta equal to cos inverse minus 1, that means this is 180 degree. Now coming to the sp2 hybridized orbital. For sp2 hybridized orbital, the percentage of P character is 66.66 and percentage of S character is 33.33. That means I equal to 2 and cos theta equal to minus 1 by half. That means cos theta equal to cos inverse minus half, and which is the 120 degree. So for the case of sp3, the percentage of P character is 75% and percentage of S character is 25%. That means I equal to 3. That means theta equal to cos inverse minus 1 by 3 and the value is 105.9.5 degree. So now from that viewpoint, we have to find out the bond angles and the hybridization of the nitrogen here. The question is, what is the hybridization used for the formation of the NH bond and the hybridization used for containing the lone pair? So as from the measured angle we know theta equal to here 107.1 degree, the HNH bond. So I equal to minus 1 by cos theta, that means I equal to minus 1 by cos 107.1 degree. So the value is 3.40. That means the hybridization used for the formation of the NH bond is sp 3.4. So here the percentage of S character will be 1 by 3.4 plus 1. That means 0.227. So the percentage of P character is, that means the fraction of P character is 3.4 by 3.4 plus 1. That is equal to 0.772. So to determine the fraction of S character used for the non-bonding electron pairs in ammonia, we have to think that the fraction of total S character will be 1. That means the fraction of S character used for non-bonding plus fraction of S character used for 3sp3s sigma bonding. So that means integration of S character equal to Fs non-bonding plus 3 into 0.227, that means equal to 1. So Fs non-bonding is equal to 1 minus 3 into 0.227, which is 1 minus 0.681. So the result is 0.319. So the percentage of S character is here 31.9 and the fraction of P character is 0.681. So I equal to Fp by Fs. So it will be 0.681 by 0.319. It is 2.13. So the lone pairs are at the sp 2.13 hybridized orbital. That means the non-bonding hybrid orbitals is sp 2.13. So we are now at the end of this session. I have attached the questions in the description box. For more new videos, please subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon.